Oh my
Hello.
God, it seems like it's been forever. And I just have to tell you, first of all, I love our new space, which is the Large Lady Gallery, which we're in. And I think you're going to see a lot more of us in here at the moment. And I'm so excited because my best friend in the
Hold on.
world.
I was your best friend in the whole
Second.
world.
Second. We have the one, the only. My wrist is never without anything from him, and the wonderful Luis Morais.
Thank you.
I would actually kiss him, but I can't now.
She's always been a huge champion of yours, actually.
I know. She's always very supportive all these years.
And it turns out one of my dear friends is also a champion of yours, Andrea Bernholtz.
It's true. For many, many years.
Many years.
Yeah, that's interesting.
LA-based.
Okay, that's not about. What's this about me and him today? It's about me and him today. Okay,
no, it's about sharing.
It's about sharing.
Yes, our audience.
There's love for everybody,
There's
but
love
more
for
for you.
everybody. Okay, thank you. That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh my God! So first of all, it's so good. It's so good. First of all, it's been a while since I've seen you, so I'm so happy to see you.
Likewise.
And it's so good to have you here in Dubai. And
Very happy to be here.
Yes. We always do Dubai and Oman. Oman is home. And yesterday we had an amazing trunk show here.
Yeah,
very small, very casual.
It was great.
But it was great.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of fans in the know, actually. There was a lot of people with a good eye that came out that don't normally come out to jewellery
events
at
they
all.
just came out.
So that was interesting.
And that's the beautiful thing about you, Luis, is you position yourself, but those that know, those that appreciate jewellery, workmanship, movement, they all know. So can you just tell us a little bit more about how you started?
It's just how I started.
And also where you're at.
I started for pure obsession of jewelry. I always liked it. As a kid, I would ask my father to buy jewelry for my mother all the time. Like my father always thought that my mother was sending him. He's like, no, he's doing that on his own. No, but so I had all that, but I never realized it until later on in life when life took me back to the United States where I live now, and I saw a bracelet that I could not buy at all. It was just a prop actually in one ad campaign for a German brand. So I made one myself. And after that, everybody was like, what is that on your wrist? I said, I made it. Can you make me one? It took me like a couple of years to realize that I had a business.
So you obviously had an eye because it wasn't exactly.
I always liked it. Yeah, I had to come up with something that was satisfying for myself. And then after that...
do you still have that piece?
I do, hidden in safe. I do.
Okay.
I keep it. It's a very simple thing. I always think that it's mostly for my eyes now. Yeah. It's a really funny thing.
Ooh, for your eyes only.
Yeah, I think it's expressious to me.
Of course.
Yeah, like nobody else. Like that.
And I was thinking about your work actually. It's like a step into fine jewellery. So
I call it fine.
Fine.
Because you should always be able to carry your jewelry every day, all the time, any event. And you should always wear things that have to be in the safe are not really that precious if you have to be hiding it. No, if you cannot wear it all the time.
Absolutely.
And
Misha, are you really? Hold on. Are you really as beautiful a human and spiritual as
not
Misha
as much
says?
as she is.
No, but definitely is that's the thing that a lot of people. Well, I think actually a lot of people that know you, they realize that as a human,
you're gonna make me cry.
You're incredible. No, I don't want you to cry. I don't want you to cry, but I do want to touch on the fact that I feel safe. I feel safer when I have a piece of Louis on. It's an incredible feeling for me.
When I used to do everything myself, I used to pray making it,
Oh, wow.
Yes. So it was very therapeutical. Yeah. I think that God gives us hands to do things with them, so everything that you do, you manifest. And it's manifest of, God on earth. And that's why...
It's a gift.
It's you're just like, bringing it through because we are nothing without, the Almighty. And I always try to keep that going when it gives, I always pray, like when the jury is leaving for retailers, we always hope that goes
to someone good.
Yes. And not someone good that it brings good to people. Yeah. Like good luck. Yeah.
Amazing. So I can honestly say for the last 20 years of my life, I have never gone a day without having a piece of Louis on, and that's
saying
incredible.
something.
That's saying something for me. You know, and I just want to say, look, there's a lot of people that think, oh, jewelry, you know, they want to use jewelry as a status symbol. Oh my God, I have a Cartier love bracelet, or I have a Van Cleef thing.
I don't have any.
That's not. That's not. Yeah, no, that's not. For people that know, you know, if you're doing that just to show beautiful jewelry, is something that's different. That is also, it's, you know, I mean, this is all very high-end jewelry, right?
I've noticed Misha's taken all the big pieces.
Yeah, of course.
Some of them,
Hello,
yeah.
Beauty. I'm actually modeling this. I'm just modeling.
Modeling until it slips into your wardrobe.
Into my. I do have already two of these.
She does.
I have two of these already, so this is just a little bigger. Ali, whichever camera, this is a little bigger. But you see, I love it. So I can wear this all. I mean, the one that I have, which has the 2 diamonds.
Oh yeah, I love that one actually.
I never. It's always on me. Like out of 7 days of the week, it's on me 6 days. You know, it's even if it's hidden.
Do you feel that your presence is around her when she wears it? Do you still have that connection to the jewelry?
I mean, we had the connection before we met.
Yeah.
You know, because for I don't know how many years we were all over the phone.
Oh yeah.
And then we met in New York the first time.
Yeah.
So we knew each other so well, and then when we saw each other, it's like, wow, I know you. You know, so maybe we have a connection from the work. You know, I think.
Did she open eye candy specifically to sell your
No,
work?
she was opening eye candy, and she called me because she had one of her cousins was a very good client of mine, very good client, and that's how we met.
Yeah. Thank you, Rolla.
Yeah, it's true, Lula.
We love you.
So, you know, but and then ever since then, I mean, I've fallen in love with it, and I think I have a very nice collection.
But you have men and women,
yes,
right?
yes. I think jewelry should always be unisex, first of all. I don't think it should be gender, unless, of course, earrings, etc. Even though people try to change that in the last, couple of years or 5 years or so, which is fine. But I think, I make with the intention that if you buy for your husband, he's not wearing it, you are wearing it.
Yeah.
Because you
That's
can.
a great idea.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy it.
You can totally take it.
Omar, I bought you this.
You don't care for it.
Fine. Exactly.
So that's the intention. Everybody can wear it. Of course, certain pieces are more masculine and more feminine, but I think that you should wear whatever you feel like, and without having a gender specification.
Yeah.
Who influences you?
People.
Yeah.
I think that people's actions influence me, people's faith a lot, and beauty of nature,
I was going to say nature, because a lot of things that you make and do are all natural stones. There's a lot of movement, in your pieces, those rings
it's the engineer in me.
I can wear this. I mean, the mechanism on this, I can wear this.
I love mechanisms, as you know, and
I can wear them in different ways and all of that, and then I can just stack it and be,
But what was your background? What were you doing?
I did engineer and then international business. So I have that in me, as my mother says. I didn't waste the money on that because you use it. That's always there. It's true. I always loved math and things like that. So I'm very mathematical when I design and how I think. Even sometimes I need to listen to Bach because it's so exact, and I need to be like that to create.
So music really influences
me, yes. Classical music.
Classical music.
And I have seen the evolution, obviously, of so many different pieces.
Oh, you have, I don't know how many collections you saw, Misha. Many.
It's amazing. But
it's moved how do you decide?
Well, it's just, honestly, I make jewelry for myself.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, because I don't like people to have what I have, or I don't have what other people have.
Hold on, and it's true, personally, and I'll say this, I'm sorry. I mean, all the big jewelry houses, I think some people that only wear the big jewelry houses, I think it's boring. What have I always said to you?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of things.
What do I always say to you about Cartier? It's too boring without one. I love you, Cartier. I love you,
Cartier,
Cartier, and I have God knows how many bracelets from you.
No, it's an amazing
but
brand.
I feel it's an amazing brand.
Yeah.
Well, it's about dressing as well.
Yeah.
When you dress,
I feel
it's much more interesting when you mix up
and
when
you do your own
just
style.
wear
True to
I
that,
feel
yeah.
so unstylish when you just I've got 2 love bracelets on and one band cake. No, that's not style. That's
a cult.
That's a cult.
That's a cult.
Exactly. I cannot. And people say to me, and I have had people say to me, "Oh my God, but why are you wearing that with that?"
Well, they don't understand
and I'm
it.
like, well, you don't understand.
Yeah,
This
they don't
makes
understand.
that.
Yeah.
You know, and this makes that me.
Actually, we met some people that are really addicted to your pieces. Yesterday, more than you, and they had it really like your jewelry stands the test of time because there was one lady there. She had rough diamond.
Yes,
she
yes,
said
yes.
she had for 15, 20 years.
Yes, they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
And it looks so delicate. But it lasted all that time.
Well, the idea that besides that making for myself, but I always think that if you bought something from my brand, you should be able to add on without thinking that you no longer that's discarded. You know, you don't discard anything.
Yeah.
So you add on, and you always feel stylish. You know, no matter what, it's always up to date. You shouldn't buy something that in 10 years, like what am I doing with this?
Yeah.
In jewelry.
Oh my God, yeah. And also, what I love about your things, not only that I can wear them everywhere in Europe, and So okay, now we know that traveling is not particularly safe carrying jewelry around or wearing a lot of jewelry. But also, some of us don't want to wear just rubbish, right? So I still want to feel like I wear jewelry, so I'm happy. I love to wear yours, and they're beautiful pieces.
Thank you.
Pieces, and then they just stay with me, and I actually never take them off.
Yeah.
And I never do. But I think like these pieces and this one, I'm okay.
Are there any pieces that materials that you particularly love working with? That every time you get to the piece,
I like gold more than diamonds. I always like gold.
Yeah.
Gold for me is it's a precious material. But we're seeing that this work here, all in lapis lazuli, that talks to me a lot.
Yeah.
There's a mystery how nature can make something so dark blue and so light blue at the same time. In the same stone. So. And the gemstones are grounding, they're healing, they're protective. So they have all these priorities and they have all this energy that we apply into the jewelry. So you can buy it only because you're attracted to it, but you don't know that actually is working for you and working for your aura and working for your environment.
Oh, I can't wait for these two to walk for my
They're working already.
I do feel utterly refreshed today, actually.
Amazing. That's the turquoise.
That's the turquoise.
And is there anything we always talk about sustainability, which is an overused word in fabric. Is there anything that you recycle or upcycle?
Everything is made in our factory, which is very small. Already being a small factory, we damage very little the environment. Less damage to the environment. Because if you manufacture in huge factories, they have much more waste to nature. So one of the things many years ago I learned that was to keep it small, so I would not damage the environment. Mm-hmm. Gold, most of it is mined and recycled, no matter what. You know? So you don't find pure gold. Gold comes with some other materials when you mine it, and they have to refine it. Yeah. But how it's mined is the what we are after. So we try to get provenance from the miners. We are up to their word that that's done properly. Unless you go to Africa or to Brazil and you see how they are doing that. But it's very important to recycle gold. It's very important to recycle diamonds. I don't think they should be mining as much because there's so much available in the world, honestly. And it's also a trend. So we have to manage. Some people make sure that they tell that everything is recycled, etc., for marketing purposes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
you hear that a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
fakeness
around people saying, "Oh, this is sustainable. This is sustainable." Let me find out down the line.
Yeah.
That no, they were just using.
There's a lot of scandals with Diet Prada later on.
Exactly.
Oops, sorry.
For example, there's that big vintage market in Miami. Mm-hmm. Do you ever come across a piece that you're just so drawn to that you can or upcycle, they call it.
No, I don't upcycle things, unless people give me or like what happens mostly, like people who had divorced, they give me their diamond ring for me to do something with it. That happens a lot. But when I go to antique shows, I find that, which is the reality, nothing was never done before.
Right.
Is how you do it again, So you get inspiration from that. You see that certain pieces were so modern 300 years ago. How come?
Yeah.
And you can still do something similar. That. So I mostly get inspired by it. I hardly buy jewelry on antique shows. No. All the objects, yes. But jewelry I get more like, okay.
But you're you have such an artistic eye. I'm lucky enough that I've been in his home. He's got an incredible house.
You have to come to the new one.
I have to come to the new one.
Hello, I'd like to come to the
You're invited.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I used to live in
Miami.
Miami.
Going to Miami.
Yes, come.
So and his artwork is incredible.
Thank you.
Right, you're a bit like Picasso, though.
No.
You are, because somebody said, "Oh, I love that," and
he paints.
No.
Oh.
In the sense that somebody says, "Oh, I love that," and then you may give a piece of jewelry, and then somebody quite famous hands you a piece of art, right? So these things happen. That's what happens. That happens a lot.
I traded with other artists. We're both like attracted to each other's work, and just happened, and I think that honestly, Instagram is one thing that brings people close, because sometimes it's easier. Together, I think. It's easier to reach.
Yeah, there's a lot of negativity at times
there
around
is.
Instagram, but I use it as quite a positive tool.
Yeah.
Of course. Not necessarily source of information, because you always have to, you always have to double check.
Filter it.
Filter it. But like in terms of beautiful pictures, design, I've even made friends off Instagram.
Yes.
And then you become very close to them. I mean, because obviously you attract your like, right?
Yeah.
So it's
if you pass
the vibration,
if you pass the image that you are, projecting, because of projection.
So there's not a difference between the image you project to the real.
What I project mostly is product.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I which is a problem, because people want to see more of the designer, and I don't think they should be seeing the product, which I fail to show. People ask me more, but I project my work.
But that's what I love about you. You have this enigma. What I love is that you really are. I mean, in terms of designers, you've designed for the biggest and the best, and your work has been recognized by so many people across the board. I mean, the Evening Standard called him the king of wristwear. I think Vogue also called you.
I think that's funny, because when I started making jewelry, and since I wear a lot of jewelry, went for men.
Yeah.
Because the stores have nothing for men. So when I was the only one, I was the first one at Bergdorf.
I see like you're across all the men.
Yeah. So when they did a study about men's jewelry, they came back and they said, "Well, he was the first one, and he's still doing it, so he's the king." And I thought it was hysterical.
That was very
just accept it.
But that's what I'm saying. So
I'm the king.
I am the king.
Where I'm going with that is that really he's incredible as a jeweler. And if you don't know him, I think it's just because maybe you.
I mean, it might not be the best, but I have a lot of fun doing what I do, and I want people to have fun with it and feel spiritual and emotional and an attachment to the jewelry. Like, it's fun. It's not something that's so serious. You're here.
Is there anyone that you would really love to see?
That's one of the top 5. Just
sorry.
Okay.
But for instance,
rude.
Do you think? I know, for instance, you did a Vogue cover with somebody that I don't want to talk about her name, but then you also did fantastic work with Elle Macpherson.
Yes, Elle for years.
Elle for years, right?
Yeah.
She was
her kids, her ex-husband, and etc.
They all wear his products a lot, but
you've
done for so many very, very important. Well, not important. I mean, very famous. Like Madonna's come to you.
Yes. Madonna actually put me on the map, because I was already making jewelry, but the moment that she bought, it was back in the moment also, People magazine came, and everybody decided to to pay more attention. So there was just like an extra push at the end.
She's good with finding talent.
Yeah,
I think.
so was really something.
And
but
then you've done bespoke stuff for Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, Valentino.
Yeah, Valentino. Oh yes, Valentino. Actually, when I met Valentino, he was wearing the bracelets.
Valentino. Yeah.
But is there what makes it special for you? Is there someone that you've seen in the street that you've got a particular vibration?
When I used to do everything myself, and we had the first place was Base on Lincoln Road, which was like kind of our Colette back in the day.
Yes.
So it was easier to see tourists and people that have absolutely no connection sitting next to me in a restaurant. Wearing the pieces.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So I was like, oh my God, I made that. And then all this person. So it was in the beginning, it was very easy. And it was very, it would make me like, wow, they don't know me. I'm sitting next to them.
Well, in the beginning, I used to always, when you always used to say to me, I always look forward to your orders, Misha.
No, she really had beautiful orders.
Would you order bespoke or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I would change. I just change colors.
Yeah, colors and composition. Yeah. But we offer that, and she would sit down. And she would sit down and making it was always so beautiful.
Oh,
yeah. Everybody was in the office. Oh my God, this is so beautiful.
She's known for her style.
No, but I absolutely love it. So, are we ready? Is it time?
No. I just wanted to ask. I wanted to ask about, we talk a lot about heritage and influence, especially in the region. Okay. Like you live in Miami, but you're Brazilian Portuguese.
Yes.
Portuguese Brazilian.
Do any of these really influence you in any way?
100%.
How do you use
mostly Brazilian because we believe in so many things in Brazil. There's no way that you can escape things in Brazil, of spirituality. There's always everybody knows somebody that can do something to you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's where I want to
So go. It's like when you grow up in a country that's so rich with religions, and faith, and attachment to what you think that's going to bring you luck. There's no way that you can all carry that with you. No matter if my parents are extremely Catholic Portuguese. There's no way that you don't carry that with you. So I carry that. So when I come, for example, to the Middle East, there's a lot here. And I love it. And of course, my eye goes straight to that. And India or China, I'm always attached to that. And probably that's what makes me connect to the people that live in the region.
Yes, beautiful, And is there a difference between the Middle Eastern customer and the rest of the world, or?
I don't think there's much of a difference.
Yeah. But humans are all the same.
Yeah. Sometimes we buy it, we shop a little bit differently.
Well, that's another story. You can put more diamonds, you can put more, but it's the same, madame.
Same.
Hey. We hope you loved the episode.
We loved the episode, and thank you so much for watching. But get ready. It's your favorite section. Top 5!
That's like 15.
Actually, there were 15 questions.